everybody. I am trying to find a stencil, a specific stencil that I'm looking for. Here it is. I have located it. Alrighty. Let's see who's hanging out today. I am going to start by stamping out my image. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so tired today. Well, hello, Becky. How are you? All right. I am going to share this to some people. And we'll see who's hanging out today, who's online. I don't know who's all online. I see people popping in. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. I can say afternoon now because it is literally afternoon here. All right, so today we're gonna do a little bit of masking. I asked Lena what she thought I should do for my live today because I had no clue. And, well, hello, Sandy Ladoohoo. I'll stop inviting people because I know you're going to be inviting them too. So I asked Lena what she thought I should do today for my live. And she said, why don't you do some masking? And I said, good idea. What should I stamp? And she said, I don't know. I just told you what to do. Which is very much apropos. Hey, Leah. Hi, Lee. So I'm going to use the Queen Bee stamp set. And Lee, if you don't have this stamp set, you have to add this one to your list. Hi, Linda Loohoo. This one, again, is nearly sold out. And it's one of my favorite stamp sets of all time. It's Leah's favorite stamp set. Hi, Nona. Long time no see. I just got back from going to breakfast with Nona and Mama Sherry. It was delicious. I'm still full. I doubt that I will eat lunch today. Man. I know. I'm sorry, Lee, but you have to add all of these. Every single one. But I do think I only have like 6 of these left. And Lee, I found a couple extra mermaids. So the mermaid that I did in my last video last week, I have like 10 of. But this stamp set, I believe there's only like 6 of them. Leah, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah. Yes, tag Jen. You know, my grandson loves your dragon stamp set. That's awesome, Becky. Sandy, did you hear that? Your dragon stamp set's a hit. That is Sandy's dragon stamp set. She is the artist behind that. And the May release, Sandy has an image in. And the June release, Sandy has an image in. And I think the July release too, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. So we're going to color up this bee and this little flower. Can you guys tell me, first of all, what color of flower you would like? Now, this is masking paper that I am getting ready to use, okay? So it's basically a low-tack sticker paper. And I'm going to stamp this bee. And you guys, I'm hella cheap, and so I'm gonna like try to stick this as far into one of the corners as I can, because I'm hella cheap, and masking paper isn't cheap. And so there's a couple different companies that make it. Gina K has masking paper. Like, what does Gina K not have, right? And there's different price points for it. So this is the Gina K masking paper. It's called Masking Magic. And essentially it's just low tack paper. If you're super duper duper cheap, you can use Post-it notes. Just make sure you're stamping on the sticky part. And then this is from Inkadink and I've had this package of masking paper literally forever. So I don't even know if you can get it anymore. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. But it's actually my favorite masking paper. And so all you do is you stamp on it just like you would stamp your card. Hi, Leah. Tracy, how's everything going? Our prayers are with you guys. I hope your hubby's doing okay. And we're all here if you need us, okay? Even if you just need to vent. So, we're here. I don't really know what's going on with Tracy or anything, but I know that her husband's in the hospital, and I know that she could use some prayers right now. So anybody who is willing to add her to their prayers or send her good vibes or healing thoughts or anything like that would obviously be much appreciated. And that is our sweet Tracy Musa. Her name is, it looks like Mossau, but it's Musa. And I love her name. You guys have heard my story before. It just makes me happy. You do need a chamois. Lena is going to be printing more chamois here very soon. Oh my gosh, the Craftermath on my desk already is legit. And I haven't even really started anything. Okay. Put this away. Take my magnets off my Missy. You guys, can I tell you what a hot mess I am today? I'm such a hot mess. Good Lord. Okay, I never cut my masking paper with my cutter bees because it's sticky paper. And I don't believe in cutting anything that's sticky with my cutter bees because I like to keep them sharp for my paper. So I know you're not really getting sticky because, you know, whatever. The paper's all stuck together. Oh my gosh, Leah, all of your 1980s toys. That's kind of amazing. But anyways, so I will be cutting this out after we color this. So has anybody decided a color of the flower? Which color would you like the flower to be? I'm going to start coloring the bee while you guys decide on the flower. Now with my bee, I like to use the W's. Right, Deanna? Orange to yellow, but the bee's yellow. You have a tape set of cutter bees? Pink, purple. Everybody's always like, pink, purple. I don't know why I even ask. Okay, so we're going to start with the bee's head. I have a great color combo for you. So it will be a pinkish purple. A purplish pink. Something like that. If that's what the people demand, that's what I shall give the people. But I should just assume every time that you guys want pink or purple. And then the next go-to is teal. That's right. So this is my W9. I like to use my warm colors when I am coloring things that have a pulse. If you use the cool colors, they kind of have that little bit of a blue, cool tint to them. And to me, it makes them feel dead. So, it's up to you what kind of colors you want to use. Or if you only have one of the gray color families from Copic, then obviously just use what you have. But for me, I prefer to use my W's or my T's when I am coloring black or gray on something that has a pulse. You were trying to be anti-you and not request pink. Stay true to yourself, Lee. Hey, Lee, I want to give you my Pokemon account so that you can go in and trade some things. FYI, I keep on saying that I need to just let you go take it on for a bit. And so I haven't been in it like all day other than this morning. So FYI, if we want to do that, we can make that a thing. Whenever you have time. My account's sad. It's super sad, so don't even laugh at it when you go in there. Does anybody else in here play Pokemon Go? Are any of the rest of you like stuck in the past with us? They recently got me hooked on it again. Lydia did, and that was kind of how Lee and I became friends. That and the crafty stuff. And, oh my gosh, yeah, dude, girl, you have like full reign, like whatever you want to do. What do you clean with soap and water? Oh, the chamois does get all inky and gross and disgusting. You can actually throw it in the wash machine with your clothes. Just don't put fabric softener on it. And don't put it in the dryer. But you can throw it in the wash machine with your clothes and it comes out just fine. The stamp chamois. But the more inky and gross they are, like, the better they are. It means they're well loved, Leah. So I'm just coloring the little legs and the black part of the bee. Notice it's getting lighter as it comes around towards the front of the bee. Notice my blacks are disintegrating into browns because I am using these W's. Again, I really like to use the lighter one. You play Jurassic World. Sandy, you used to play Pogo with us. Our Discord group does rock. Sandy, there's like 800 and something Pokemon now. So like everything you catch is new. And you can do remote raids and stuff now, so you don't have to leave your couch. Which is what all these girls got me stuck on doing. So, like, my husband pretty much doesn't exist anymore. He watches some crap on TV. Usually it's like UFC fights. Last night we watched, like, the biography of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I will admit was mildly entertaining. But while he's watching that stuff, I'm, like, battling and everything. I need my Pokemon to be put in gyms because I have 0 Pokecoins and I don't like paying for them. Because like I said, I'm cheap. I know, yeah, but dinosaurs. Mine's almost like that too, Deanna. I read your Muppet scenario, Lee. It cracked me up. Muppets are life. I don't really care for the Muppets. I used to when I was little, but I have, you'll laugh at me, Lee. You're just gonna laugh at me. So now I will get the C's for the eyes because I like to have a different tone in the eyes. Since everything's gonna be gray. Since this is like black on black or gray on gray, you know, whatever. Thanks, Becca. There's only a few of this stamp set left. So, just FYI. Anyways, I have a meme saved on my phone, Lee, and I will have to send it to you because it's my favorite meme of all times, and it's a Muppet. Do the flower orange. I just did the flower orange, though. Everybody wanted pink and purple, so I have a cool purple blend that I just made up that I really want to test out, so pink and purple it will be, which will go fine with what I'm planning to do with the background. I do love me some orange flowers, though. I'm not going to lie. I forgot that he has like a whole other eye over here. Fine, put a bee stamp aside too. Lee, you need to just go in and buy all the things. All the ones that you don't have. Okay, so here's my bee. I'll hold him a little closer so you can see. He's not done, obviously. He's going to get highlights and stuff in his eyes. You guys know that. The cool thing is... Oh, yellow. Durr. I'm looking around like, what color am I going to use for the bee? Durr. So I have this really cool like golden yellow blend that I love to use. It is only 3 markers. If Tyler's here, grab your paper bag. Y28. You can add more markers to this to make it more bright if you want. But I really kind of like this antique type color on these bees. Yay, here comes the mail truck. It's weird that it's taken until noon today. Usually the mail people are here. Yeah. I know. See, I hate spending money on Pokecoins. But then I'm like, so like last night they were doing raids in Pokemon Go. And they were doing all these raids of the stuff I didn't have. And it was killing me. So I finally used the coins that I had saved up from my Pokemon being in gyms. And get ready for Archie to bark. Because they have to bring stuff to my door because I ordered a whole bunch of supplies. But anyways. Not much better. Sorry. Archie, honey. Archie. Hey. No. Yeah, he listens. Wow. He's getting very upset. Almost to level 47. Good Lord. I am almost to 35. Like, almost. Archie. I can't even think with him. Bo's barking because he hears Archie. Little Bo's like, where is he? Where is he? Mom, I didn't even know you were on here. That's my mama, guys. That's my real mama. BB 13, BB 11. 13, BB 11. And RB 63. There it is. I could not find this pen for the life of me. Okay, guys, this is going to be, I can tell the dog people on here. Deanna, good job, Archie. You scare that mailman away. This is going to be a color blend that you guys are going to want to write down because this is a really fun color blend, especially for florals. But this is BV08. V09, BV13, BV11, and RV63. And I know that a lot of these don't look like they go together because these BVs are very blue and I'm adding some very pinks in the middle of it. But I promise you it's going to work out. You're going to love it. Laura's here. Hello, Jamie's mama. So my mama, my real mama, is Mickey Hunter. And then the lady that I call Nona is Mickey Harmer. And that was not done intentionally. But Mickey Harmer is Nona because I don't have any grandparents left. And so she decided she was just going to be my grandma. I think it was a mutual decision, but we like to say that the other one forced the other one on each other. So, you know, it all works out. So yeah. Gotta love those fur babies, right? And Archie is like legit about protecting. Unless, of course, you have a milk bone. And then you just hand it to him and out to the backyard he goes. He doesn't actually eat them. When my mom's dog is here, little Bo, he's a teeny tiny Yorkie. I mean tiny. We're talking like he's gonna be 4 or 5 pounds maximum. He will eat an entire milk bone. And so he will take the milk bone from the male guy and he will just eat it. Archie likes to take it in the backyard and bury it. Well, hello, Tyler. Good thing you're a little bit late because I used 3 colors on the bee. Do you guys want me to zoom in some? Is that helpful? And I thought that you might need your paper bag again, Tyler. All right, so I'm using this darkest purple, this BV08, which I zoomed in so you probably can't see it anymore. And I'm using the brush strokes, the little brush stroke motion, to go along the flower petals, just where there would be shadow. And I'm going along in the direction of the petal, just like you would do if there was hair. And I'm just going along this direction, because this is all the shadow part. Around this little, where this petal kind of curves in. And petals are full of striations, right? They're not like super, like softly blended or gradiated from color to color. There's, you know, little veins and striations and stuff all within the petals. So that's why I like to add a lot of texture to my flowers. I don't want them to be flat. And I change the direction of my card like 100 million times so that I can get the right angle with my wrist to make those brush strokes. There's a couple of stages in which this is gonna, I want that bee for reals. You want this picture of the bee, like when I'm done with this, you want this picture? Hey, Jen! Or you want like the bee to have it as a pet. Or you need one of these stamp sets. I'm all confused on what you actually want, Mom. Oh my gosh, you guys, my mom has been painting. She decided one day that she was going to be an acrylic painter. I was going to say paintist. Artist, painter, together makes a paintist. It's a new word. So she decided one day that she was just going to start painting. No training, no nothing. She just picks up paintbrushes. She goes to the store. She buys a ton of acrylic paints. I feed her habit by buying her a bunch of the Delusions acrylic paints. And she looks at Pinterest and she finds pictures that she likes and she prints them off. And then she goes to her canvas and she freaking paints them. And a lot of times she paints them better than what they were on Pinterest to begin with. So I told her to start posting them in our group because they're really cool. And she painted me, I won't take it out of my craft room because I love it so much. She painted me this bear on a teal background, and it's got like all the bright color drips and stuff. Oh my God, it's so awesome. So I can put him on one of my paintings. Okay, you can have one. So Lee, there's only 5 of this stamp set left. You typed paintist. She's a paintist. So anyways, yeah, she's just really incredible and just picks up these paints and starts painting. So I say we all guilt her into actually just posting photos of her paintings. I mean, they're super cool. So this VO9 is a very pink-based purple. And it's so cool in contrast with that blue-based purple. At least I think it is. There are a lot of artists out there that would freak out that I'm mixing these two. But I like to mix them. I'm not even on the screen. Guys, this is one of my favorite sets. I don't think I would like the florals, the geometric shapes, but I love how it turned out. Right? I love the florals with the geometric shapes. Artsy and talent runs in the family. I suppose so. I don't consider myself artsy. Because I'm not crafty. I'm literally one of the least crafty people that you will ever meet. I can't craft. Send all the money. But yeah, so I'm answering like 5 people at once. I'm sorry if I'm confusing everybody. If Holly's here and she's like reading the closed captioning on this, she's gonna be like all kinds of confused. Because it probably had a heyday with Paintist. Whatever, Sandy, you've been here and you know that I don't craft. I can color, but crafting eludes me. Like, I can't just, like, Kaylee goes and makes wreaths. Like, it's really hard for me to go and just make a wreath. I just can't do it. We all went and we made gnomes together. We, like, took this gnome class, and everybody's making, like, all these cute gnomes, and I'm like, so how does this hot glue stuff work? Yeah, tell Holly that this is a very, very confusing live, and I apologize. Anyways, so yes, artsy kind of runs in the family, but we all have our own art in like different ways. My mom is by far the most artsy out of all of us, by far. And she just has this talent that she can just decide she wants to do something one day and then just do it. Like, she decided she wanted to start sewing, and so she started like sewing all these little dolls, and she loves little African American dolls, so she just sewed all of these little African American dolls, and she like paints all their faces, and they're so stinking cute. And I mean, they take her days and days and days to make, but she doesn't follow any patterns or anything. She just starts sewing. She just decided she wanted to sew dolls one day, and she started making dolls. I don't know. That kind of talent eludes me. I know, poor Sandy. I hope she gets on the upswing and gets better soon. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, so BV13, I'm going back to those blues. I usually forget this flower over here, so I'm kind of impressed with myself that I haven't forgotten it yet today. Yeah, that is true, Sandy. Sandy loves to draw, so one day she was like, I'm going to draw stamps. And then she started drawing for me. But I can't draw. I use my dad's old one-liner joke that, like, if I sit still long enough, I could probably draw flies. Because that's about all I can draw. Haha. Haha. Everybody laughed. That was funny. Haha. I can draw flies. I've had so many people that are like, what? What do you mean you could draw flies? Our neighborhood's a happening place to be today, just in case you're wondering. It's like everybody and their brothers driving by today. I love these geometric florals. I think they're so different and unique. And I think they're really fun and they're unexpected. And I really enjoy them. Are we still live? Okay. I lost video feed there for a second. Memento, yes. Hey, Andrew. I know, Sandy. I'm doing line coloring. The reason being is because I'm going to teach you guys how to mask when I'm done with this. And so I'm going to show you like a really cool technique. And Mom, you might actually be able to use this technique in your painting too. Okay. We're getting there, guys. I don't know what sparked my interest on these geometric florals, but when I saw them, I was like, oh my gosh, I need a geometric floral. And so I went to my artist and was like, geometric floral, please. And she was like, oh, that's a good idea. I haven't seen very many of those. So, it was a tattoo originally that I saw that was a flower with some geometrics around it. And then I was like, okay, well, where this bee came from is Lena and I, our favorite movie together is Fried Green Tomatoes. And I'm Ruth and she's Idgy. And so she's my little bee charmer, even though she's wildly allergic to bees. She's very, very, very allergic to bees. And so that's where the bees came from, is I needed a bee set for my bee charmer. And so I combined the idea that I needed a bee and a geometric flower together, and boom, there's the queen bee set. I bet your conference call is going to fall right while I'm asking, because that's Murphy. What do you mean, really? Yeah, this bee set's for Lena. We love fried green tomatoes. Tawanda. Okay, so here's our pink that we're adding to this. Yeah, Lena always says that I'm the Ruth to her Idgy, and I always say she's the Idgy to my Ruth. And she loves bees. Like she wants to be a bee farmer, but she's so incredibly allergic to bees that like it would be terrible for her to be a bee farmer, because she wouldn't survive it if she got stung at all. This flower really comes to life when you put this pink in here. How cool is that? All right. I know the RV60s are they're just awesome markers. They're beautiful colors. They're soft, but they're like true pinks, and they just really make me happy. I really like them. 61. Okay, so I'm going to use some funky greens for the leaves. Mom, do you know what kind of flower this is? Or anybody, do you know what kind of flower this is? I asked my mom because she's really, they're into gardening and stuff. I once got this, like, bouquet of flowers from my boss and had this cool, like, windy, like, willow stick in it. And I swear to you, my parents took it out and stuck it in their yard. And then there was, like, this huge willow tree in their yard. Me, if I would have stuck that stick out in the yard, like, it would have just been a stick in the yard. But my parents are amazing when it comes to growing random things. Jamie Flower. Boom, I win. Jennifer, you can use archival ink. That stuff pretty much doesn't budge on anything. I will say that sometimes you will get a little bit of smudge if you're overly heavy-handed with your markers. The only reason I don't like archival ink, which I'm going to have to get over it pretty soon, is because it stains your stamps. So they all end up being like this pinky color or yellow color, no matter how much you clean them. And I say I'm going to have to get used to that because I'm going to try my hand at watercoloring. An Oriental Poppy, that could be. So this is our Oriental Poppy. It's the Jamie flower. I'm with Sandy. This is a Jamie flower. You can find it at your local Costco. This is YG67. This is a very different green. So I use that yellow green underneath so that I can kind of tint this because leaves are not like one straight color. And notice I'm not being really careful on the leaves. I'm just kind of scribbling in the veins and the striations in them. I like my leaves to be, you know, kind of organic and a little bit wild. And so I try not to take too much time and overthink about it. Otherwise they become very uniform. What are we finding at sweetsentiment.us besides all the greatest stamps ever and the paper? I'm coloring on Sweet Sentiment coloring paper, in case you guys didn't know that. Best paper ever. And this batch of it is extra dreamy. I'm not gonna lie, like different paper mills are just different, you know? Like, it's like going to a McDonald's, right? You know you're gonna get the same food no matter what, but some McDonald's is just, they're just better, right? Your food comes out super hot and they're very consistent and their fries are wicked salty and everything's the best, right? So different paper mills make your paper in different ways. And this paper mill, I am definitely going back to because these people got like the most even coverage of the microflakes inside the paper. It's just gorgeous. Thanks, Leah. And oh my gosh, they did such a fantastic job with this batch of paper. And it was a fairly large batch because I was so out and I had been so out because of dang COVID. And so anyways, when I got this batch of paper in, I was a little bit leery because I'd never used this paper mill before to make my paper. And let me tell you, folks, I am going back to this paper mill. These people are awesome. And it's in Florida, so this batch of paper is made in the US. You have one sheet left. We have a whole stack of it right here. Okay. And then I'm going to put some yellow in the middle of that. I'm going to use this brownish yellow, which is the Y26. Because there's such a little bit of it. And I'm going to use this super bright yellow, which is the Y06. All right. Now, we're going to learn how to mask. Is everybody ready? This is my colorless blender. I got some pink out of the line here. Okay. So, let me zoom out. Oops, that's in. Okay. So, I stamped this stamp on my paper and colored it. Now I stamped this on the masking paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors. I really hate these scissors. Let me get my other ones. Here we go. And I'm going to cut this out. Now, the difference between cutting a mask and fussy cutting is that when you are cutting a mask, you want to be directly on the lines. And Mom, this is what I said you could use on your paintings too. So just FYI. Instead of doing the background first. This is like if you want to do the background second. Or if you paint something and then you decide you don't like the background, you can do this. So anyways, you want to cut directly on the lines. And it takes a hot minute to cut this out because I decided that I was going to choose like the most intricate stamp ever. Hey, let's learn about masking today. Let me choose the most difficult stamp to fussy cut. All right, that sounds like a great idea. And Queen Bee stamps it. Boom. It's the little legs that are the hardest part. Oh my gosh, just work for me. You notice nothing works when you're on camera, or is that just me? Like everything's fine until the camera comes on, and then straight up nothing works. Now, I don't have to be overly picky about this mask because I know what my end game is, but if you need to be overly picky on it, I mean, take your time and fussy cut it all out perfectly. Yeah, I could cut one out ahead of time, but for some reason people love watching me fussy cut stuff, so I never do. And then people like to see the entire project so that they can duplicate it. So I usually try to do it all live so that you know what you're getting into. Also, and I can't stress this enough, I don't plan ahead. I was literally asking Lena what I should color, you know, 2 minutes before the live. So there's that. I can't possibly plan a whole week of lives and know what I feel like coloring in that live a whole week ahead of time. That's crazy talk. Other people can probably do that, but not me. So I will be here fussy cutting the bee. You can talk amongst yourselves. I can tell you about the retreat. There's 2 that is happening. First of all, there is an online retreat that is going to be happening the weekend after Mother's Day. You will see it in the shop here in a couple days. I think it goes live on the 25th for sales, for ticket sales. And it is going to be a purely online retreat. And it's going to be called the Retreat because we're all about using stuff that's already in our craft rooms. So theoretically, you shouldn't have to purchase anything. You will get, there's an exclusive digi for the retreat. And there's all kinds of projects using the stamp sets from last year. So most of you that were that are in here that were subscribers already have all of the stamp sets for it. If you don't have the stamp sets for it, then obviously you can buy it because you will be able to see ahead of time the projects, and so you'll be able to buy the stamp sets. I do believe that this queen bee is going to be used in one of them, one of the projects. The retreat is going to be the weekend after Mother's Day, so I think that's the 15th, 16th of May. But the videos will be recorded, so if you want to or don't want to, like if you're not going to be there for the lives, you can, watch them because they're going to be in a private group, so you can watch them later. And it's all going to be like this kind of trash to treasure scenario, like recycle all the things that you have. I hate when we're in our fiends. So it's going to be all about using the stuff that you already have. And so there's going to be scavenger hunts to find all of the items. It's just going to be a blast, you guys. I have some amazing and incredible teachers. A couple of the videos are going to be pre-recorded. A bunch of them are going to be live. There's going to be games and prizes. Yeah. So you're not going to want to miss that. And I believe it's only going to be $25 for the ticket. So, all right. And just like that, our mask is all cut out. So now what I'm going to do, retreasure. I like retreat. Because, it's sweet sentiment. So everything's after treats. Cakes and cookies. And we're reusing stuff. So it's the retreat. So usually masking tape, or masking paper, not masking tape, is really easy to peel. But I have these like super thick nails right now. So I'm going to use my little tweezers. And I'm also going to use my little tweezers to line up this leaf. Okay. Now, I didn't cut out anything inside the honeycombs. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll take an X-Acto knife and cut out the honeycombs inside of the geometric part. Today I've decided not to. So you take your masking paper and you line it up with your image. Make sure you stick it all down. And then what I do is I go to the back and I do this number. Okay. Now, it looks like we didn't even color it at all. Sad days. So now I'm pulling out my Tim Holtz Media Mat because I'm going to do some ink blending. You're in and out of Sigil. I want to retreat. And I'm going to use the Earth Mandala stencil because it's a bunch of leaves. And I think that it's gorgeous, and I think that it's going to be awesome for this. So, I again have my pixie spray, and I'm going to spray my stencil. And yes, that's the same pixie spray I used the other day that, oh man, I sprayed the wrong side of my stencil. Damn. That the lid came flying off of. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay, so I stuck my stencil down, and I still like to secure it. I don't know why, but I just do. So I have my frog tape, and I'm just gonna stick my frog tape on here. Okay, so you guys saw I used some pretty funky greens in the leaves of this, and I'm going to continue to do just that. So I'm gonna grab some oxide inks. And I'm going to grab like peeled paint, twisted citron, bundled sage, forest moss, all of these, you know, crazy, weird green colors, okay? So, let's see. Peeled paint. I can't even remember what I got now. Bundled sage, twisted citron, and forest moss. Ooh, do I want forest moss? I don't think I want it. I think I want rustic wilderness, the new green color. I think that's what I'm gonna use. Okay. So now I have all my inks out. And I'm going to do this a little different. You guys know me, and you know I like to do like a soft gradient. I'm not going to do that today. I know, scary, right? Bundled sage, rustic wilderness. So I'm going to start with my rustic wilderness. Now, this is a very delicate stencil, so it might move around on you just a little bit, so try to be careful that it's not moving around too much. And you can always use my trick of grabbing a tissue and holding it down. Peeled paint. Peeled paint is almost the same color as that YG95. And notice I'm able to go right over the top of my image because I have it all masked off, so I don't have to worry about coloring on it. I'm going to do twisted citron next. Okay, and then I'm going to use my bundled sage. And the reason I'm using bundled sage last is because I want it to kind of tone down those other colors some and mix them together. So it's a lighter color. It can go over the top of all the other colors without completely taking away from them. And that leaf wants to move. Oh, see that? I just peeled up my whole stencil. Okay, so now we have all these greens. Now, in order to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to take my little water bottle because I use different brushes. Leah, And Distress Oxide ink is water reactive. So I'm adding a little bit of water to it. Your Distress and Oxide collection is tiny and in beginner stage. Aw, Jennifer, I love that. And then I take my tissue and I blot off the water. Now this is like my favorite part, you guys. Like my absolute favorite part. I love peeling stencils. Like if I could just walk around and peel stencils and masks all day, I would be a super happy girl. So let me get rid of the board for you. Okay, are you ready? So first we're gonna peel the stencil and reveal that cool leaf pattern. Isn't that amazing? Ah, I love it. So cool. Now are you guys ready? But that last one is muddier. Yeah, it's just because I've used it so many times. It's all good. I don't ever wash my stencil brushes because I have one for every oxide color. So to get this started, I use my tweezers. And sometimes since this mask, since I sprayed water on it and the mask got wet, I won't be able to reuse it. But sometimes I can use a mask like 3 or 4 or 5 times. Oh, good, Jen. I want you to post pictures of those girls coloring. So like this leaf got too wet. So I'm not going to be able to reuse that mask, but oh my God, you guys, isn't it so cool? I love it. I love it. I love it. If you're not like a big fan, you can go like this and kind of tone that down a little bit. But now what I'm going to do is it doesn't matter if my bee's wings are white because they were masked off. So I'm going to go in with this really cool product that I love. This is from Ink on 3, and this is their liquid pixie dust. And you notice, see how it's like oil and then glitter at the bottom? You shake it all up. Thanks, Nona. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Lee. And so you shake it all up till all of your glitter is evenly distributed. And mine sits dormant for like months and months and months at a time, so just FYI. Don't be like me. And then you grab a paintbrush. And yes, I had to go hunting for a paintbrush because that's how I roll. I usually like to use a tiny skinny one, but I don't have one of those hanging out with me right now. And I'm not about to use my S whatever brushes that Lydia told me to get. And you just put some of this glitter on the brush and you paint it on. And this is such a cool glitter. And you can get super froggy with this. Like you can put this glitter on everything. Like if you want to put it on the flower and all of that kind of stuff, you certainly can. But it's just a really cool, like it has kind of a pearlescent finish. That was the word I was looking for. Has kind of that pearlescent finish to it. Also, I'm going to grab my white gel pen because you guys know me and my white gel pen, and it has to be a thing. And I have to put a little highlight in his eye and on his head. How awesome is that? So there's your masking 101. Something new to me, glittery. This is just a Jelly Roll, regular white ghetto gel pen. This Ink on 3 liquid pixie dust is amazing. I love their stuff. And their liquid, I've had this for years. Like seriously, I've probably had this bottle for maybe 3 years. And there's still 2/3 of a bottle in it. So yeah, you don't use much. And it does take a hot minute to dry, I will tell you that. But you can go around too. So like, say, you know, you want to be extra, and you can put little dots of it all around your paper. And then they will dry, and they won't be like bubbled up like that. And so, again, you have this really cool thing. Wink of Stella would work if you don't have this, but this is much more concentrated than Wink of Stella, and this also will not interact with your Copics. So Wink of Stella will actually smear or smudge your Copics, and the liquid pixie dust does not. So if you use Wink of Stella, be careful with it because it will definitely smear your Copics. So if you're doing something over white or whatever, that happens. Anyways, you need to buy all the glittery things. See, I like this because I have an aversion to actual glitter. I love the look of it, but it gets everywhere and it drives me absolutely batty. So, yes, this has a much higher concentration of glitter because it's more like mica powder in there, and it's ultra fine sparkle for your creations. If you read the label, that's what it says. And she sells out of this stuff all the time. Like, she can never keep it in. She's tried and tried and tried. So it's hit and miss on when you can get it, but always stock her website because she does get it in all the time. It's also another made in the USA product, and also Ink on 3 is another like girl boss. And you know how I am, we rise by lifting others. So this is somebody that is a small business, and your money goes to, you know, helping her buy Christmas gifts for her kids and pay her bills and all that kind of stuff. So I love helping those kind of businesses. So anyways, with this card, what I'll do is I'll probably add a bow to it. I'll add a little sentiment to it. The sentiments in this Queen Bee stamp set are pretty amazing. What's the buzz? In every woman there is a queen, and then there's be kind, brave, humble, unique, strong. And then this says that stings. And then this is my favorite sentiment, I think, like of all time, and it says aerodynamically the bee shouldn't be able to fly, but the bee doesn't know it, so it flies anyways. And that's just such an uplifting statement if you really think about it. So I love that sentiment more than I can explain to you guys. And that's it for my live today. So thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, I will save this and put it on YouTube. So it will be connected to my YouTube channel if you missed it or if you want to see the replay. If you have not followed me on YouTube, please subscribe. That would be amazing. Also, if you go to the top of this group, the Sweet Sentiment Stamps and Friends group, there is a link for the new newsletter. I have not sent out a newsletter yet, but I need all of your guys' email addresses for if you want the newsletter. And let me tell you, you want the newsletter because there's going to be cool stuff like free digis in the newsletter. So yeah. My delivery is just flat rate boxes, Jennifer, so it's nothing major. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys all soon. Toodles!